Wokeness is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as the quality of being alert to and concerned about social injustice and discrimination. Sounds like an admirable quality to have, doesn't it? But the dictionary also notes that this noun is often used in a derogatory manner. Calling someone woke is usually a criticism or insult. And this controversial field is not something new. To Kill a Mockingbird, published way back in 1960, became a literary touchstone, exploring racial injustice and morality through a child's eyes in the Deep South. Yep, it was pretty woke. Decades later, the release of an earlier draft challenged the novel's legacy, revealing a more complex, flawed version of Atticus Finch, a beloved character, and sparking national debate. This video explores how these two books, separated by 55 years, reveal the evolving story of Harper Lee, her characters, and America's often bitter struggle with race and identity. The wokeness debate, some would say wokeness war, is not just about literature. It's about how a nation sees itself, and how stories around a hot topic can both comfort and confront. Born in 1926 in the small town of Monroeville, Alabama, Harper Lee entered a world defined by tradition, close-knit communities, and the slow rhythms of Southern life. Growing up during the Great Depression, Lee witnessed firsthand the economic hardships and deep racial divides that shaped the American South. Social segregation by skin color was a daily reality, and the struggles of her neighbors left a lasting impression on her young mind. Her father, Amasa Coleman Lee, was a respected lawyer who once defended African American men in court, an act of courage that later inspired the character of Atticus Finch in her novel. Lee's childhood was filled with adventure and curiosity. Her close friendship with Truman Capote, another future literary giant, and her keen observations of the people and stories around her helped shape her unique literary voice. After briefly studying law at the University of Alabama, Lee made the bold decision to move to New York City. There, she worked a series of odd jobs, from ticket agent to airline reservation clerk, all while dedicating her evenings and weekends to writing her first manuscript. With encouragement and support from friends and her editor, Lee tirelessly revised her original draft, transforming it into the story that would eventually become To Kill a Mockingbird. The process took several years of painstaking revision, as Lee focused the narrative through the innocent yet perceptive eyes of a child, capturing both the simplicity and the complexity of her Southern upbringing. This transformation laid the groundwork for one of the most influential and beloved novels in American literary history, but later, also one of the most controversial. Set in Depression-era Macomb, Alabama, Mockingbird follows 6-year-old Scout Finch, her brother Jem, and father Atticus. The children's world is shaped by games, local customs, and the legend of creepy Boo Radley. The heart of the novel is Atticus's defense of Tom Robinson, an African-American man falsely accused of raping a white woman. Despite clear evidence of Tom's innocence, the town's racism prevails, and Tom is convicted, shattering the children's innocence. The story's two threads, the mystery of Boo Radley and the trial, intertwine in a dramatic climax, as Boo saves the children from Bob Ewell's attack. Their sheriff's decision to protect Boo from public scrutiny reinforces the novel's message. True justice and compassion often defy the law. Through Scout's eyes, readers confront the realities of prejudice and the loss of innocence. Released in 1960, the novel arrived just as the civil rights movement was reshaping America. Its powerful critique of Southern racism resonated with readers and critics, and it quickly became a bestseller, even winning the Pulitzer Prize. The 1962 film adaptation, starring Hollywood legend Gregory Peck, cemented Atticus Finch as a national symbol of moral courage. Mockingbird became a staple in schools, seen as a tool for teaching empathy and justice. For many, it offered a hopeful vision, that individual integrity could challenge systemic injustice. Yet, even in its early years, some questioned whether its focus on a white savior truly served to generate an honest discussion of the complexities of racial tension in America. Still, its influence on American culture and education was immediate and profound. Atticus Finch became the embodiment of moral heroism, a lawyer and father who stood for justice against overwhelming odds. His defense of Tom Robinson and his lessons to scout on empathy inspired generations of readers, lawyers, and activists, who then both affected social change and inspired others. Gregory Peck's portrayal made him the thinking woman's heartthrob, his Atticus a hero with integrity, courage, and good looks. Atticus was soon a household name, merging fiction and reality in the public imagination. For decades, Atticus Finch was held up as the ideal of white allyship and true legal ethics. Yet, this image was not without problems. Critics later argued that Atticus's heroism centered around white perspectives, which sidelined the voices of African Americans themselves. The character's influence was so strong that his name became shorthand for principled resistance to injustice, an intellectual hero with a touch of both Voltaire and Robin Hood. But over time, as America's conversations about race deepened and evolved, so did the scrutiny of Atticus's role as a classic white savior. Even today, his legacy remains complex, both inspiring to and deeply contested by individuals in every camp of the race debate. In recent decades, To Kill a Mockingbird has faced growing criticism for its portrayal of African American characters as passive and reliant on rescue by a noble white character. Many readers and scholars argue that while the novel was groundbreaking in its time, its depiction of race relations now feels outdated and even problematic. Characters like Tom Robinson and Calpurnia are dignified but lack agency, their voices and choices often overshadowed by the white protagonists, without whom they are helpless. Their stories are also filtered through Scout's immature and distinctly white perspective, which limits the depth and complexity of African American experiences in the narrative. The novel's frequent use of racial slurs has also sparked heated debates about its place in classrooms, with some educators and parents arguing it causes harm to African American students and perpetuates social trauma. Others believe that confronting these uncomfortable truths is necessary in order to have honest discussions about America's history, which don't sugarcoat language once seen as normal. Critics like Roxane Gay question why America's most reverent story of racism is told through a white child's awakening, rather than centered on African American experiences and voices. Many now call for literature that more authentically represents the lives and perspectives of African Americans, what, ironically, Atticus Finch would have called their own direct testimonies. These issues have led some schools to remove the book from curricula, sparking passionate debates within communities about moral cowardice, censorship, and brave educational values. While some continue to defend the novel's historical value and its role in sparking conversations about racial inequality and justice, others see its datedness and other limitations as increasingly problematic in a changing society. The debate over To Kill a Mockingbird's legacy mirrors America's ongoing struggle with race, identity, acceptance of diversity, and the thorny question of just who gets to tell the story. Its status as a universal text is now more complicated than ever, as society grapples with issues of representation and inclusion, and attacks on that quality of alertness to injustice, the now often vilified wokeness. In 2015, publication of Harper Lee's long-lost novel sent shockwaves through the literary world, reigniting interest in her legacy and sparking heated debates among critics and fans. Marketed as a sequel, Go Set a Watchman was actually Lee's original manuscript, written before her famous classic, showing an adult scout returning to Maycomb in the 1950s. a town both familiar and changed by time. The story reveals a very different Atticus Finch, one who attends white supremacist meetings and openly opposes desegregation, shattering the image of the beloved hero from Lee's earlier work. Grown-up Scout's disillusionment with her father becomes the novel's central conflict, forcing her to confront the painful reality of his prejudices and to question everything she thought she knew about her family and hometown. And the novel exposes the raw, unedited roots of To Kill a Mockingbird, offering a rare and unfiltered glimpse into Lee's creative process and the evolution of her characters. Readers can witness the transformation of ideas and themes that would later become literary history. But significant controversy raged around the decision to even publish Go Set a Watchman, with allegations that 89-year-old Lee was being taken advantage of by her publishers and pressured into allowing publication of a rough draft against her previously stated wishes. Suddenly, the comforting moral clarity of To Kill a Mockingbird was replaced by ambiguity and discomfort, challenging readers to reconsider their own beliefs. The so-called sequel forced a reckoning with the past, both personal and national. Put together, the two novels reveal the evolution of both a writer and a nation grappling with its conscience, showing how perspectives can change and change us over time. Watchmen forced readers to reconsider the layers of Atticus Finch, no longer a flawless hero, but potentially a product of his time, capable of both courage and prejudice. The Atticus of Mockingbird is an idealized figure, shaped by a child's adoration and an editor's guiding vision. In Watchmen, however, the aged Atticus embodies the complexities and contradictions of white Southern liberals in the 1950s. This unpacking of the two versions of Atticus sparked fierce debate. Had Lee's legacy been tarnished by commercial opportunism, or had Book 2 made the whole discussion more honest? Some saw it as undermining the heroism of Atticus. Others argued that it invited readers to confront a more realistic, complex, and challenging portrait of American racism. In today's context, the flawed Atticus of Watchmen resonates as a symbol of the subtle, systemic biases that persist even among the intelligent and well-intentioned. Harper Lee's legacy is defined by two novels that offer starkly different visions of justice, heroism, and the American South. Mockingbird shaped generations, offering hope that individual integrity could challenge injustice. Watchmen shattered that myth, revealing the limits of idealism and the persistence of prejudice. Together, these books force readers to face uncomfortable truths that good people can hold bad ideas, and that progress is neither simple nor assured. Lee's work continues to provoke debate about race, representation, the stories we choose to tell, and who has the right to tell them. In a world now familiar with Rodney King and the LA riots, the death of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, her novels continue to hold up a mirror to America's soul, reflecting both its aspirations and its flaws. Unresolved tensions between racial groups today guarantee that Harper Lee's voice will remain vital, challenging us to question, reflect, and to dare to grow. Have you read either Mockingbird or Watchmen? What's your critique of Harper Lee's work? Please tell us in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help keep world literature alive.
Harper Lee's work was the 20th century's defining racial injustice story, but a 19th century author had already blazed this trail through a very different young protagonist. Meet him in episode 34.